Now, you said this film is sort of loosely autobiographical, and it struck me watching it that, you know, one of the problems that Peter Mullan's character, Joseph, has is communicating with the outside world.
Yes.
You revealed earlier this year that you had been diagnosed at a relatively late age of 36 with Asperger syndrome, which obviously poses problems about communication, although sitting opposite you now, it seems to me you have no problems communicating.
Don't believe me.
Was this film...
What's going on in here is a different story.
But were you trying to look at that? Has that always been a big struggle for you, communicating?
On some level, yeah, it has. When I'm left in Paddy world, it's not a problem at all. You know, I'm all right. But when I'm with my wife and my close family and close friends, I have a pretty small circle of close friends. I think it's when you're trying to sort of fit into the outside world, and I think one of the things of Asperger's for me is that you sort of live your life in a heightened sort of state of fear, like something bad is going to happen to you. You know, every day is a pretty anxious day. You know, and you have your good and bad days. But and part of that manifests itself in a sort of you sort of go into your defensive shell, and I guess that. Sometimes I myself can be prone to sort of meltdowns where I just need everybody to get away from me so I can be alone, and I don't like parties and I don't like social situations really and all those things, and I do like to just be at home with my wife and children. And I think that, you know, sometimes it manifests in a lot of anger and a lot of sort of inner turmoil that is difficult to express and even explain. You know, I think that my father had it too, and I think that Joseph in the film shows a lot of behaviours that like my father had, and he didn't have a great time communicating with the outside world, and I think there's a lot of that in there. And I actually think that Joseph has Asperger's. You know, I didn't know at the time of writing it, but when it was revealed to me, when I look at that movie, I know that Joseph has.
Because his house is very neat.
His house is very neat and tidy, yeah. And he's a creature of routine. And I don't even think Joseph is an alcoholic. I just think that it's another way that he tries to cope with the world. It's like a numbing.
He's self-medicating.
Yeah, very much like Hannah's character. It's just that, you know, it's just about taking the edge off things, you know, situations. But if I'd have written a part and gone around and pitched it to everybody and said, you know, there's this character Joseph and he has Asperger's syndrome, and you know, I think, you know, it just informs the way that you go about making a film, and that, you know, you can imagine everybody lining up and, you know, expecting the next Rain Man or something. And as much as I love that movie, I think sometimes, you know, it's people's only frame of reference, and people say to me, you're not on the autistic spectrum, you know, because I'm not counting toothpicks or something. I'm not some savant, and that's the totally other end of things. But I just think it would have been a different movie, but I think that character definitely has those traits.
Paddy Considine, and Tyrannosaur is in selected cinemas across the UK, certificate 18.